Welcome back to another video on my channel, and this one is 10 shots named after players in Rocket League, so the players who invented the shots and it's named after them. Few things before I start this video. The players in these didn't actually name the shots after themselves, the community did. So if you find a new shot or anything, don't name it after yourself, it's just not right. All of the shots in this video, all of the names of those players are in the description below. And there's a load more, but this is just all that I fit into the 10 shots. If you enjoy the video or just see any shots that you like or want to try, sub and like to my channel as it helps a lot, and we can try and hit 30 likes in this video. It will be quite hard, but if you can like the video, it helps me a massive amount. Shots are in no order and I'll start the video now. So at number 10, a shot that a lot of people have heard of, and it's the Sting Pop. This is when you flip cunts in the floor, then uncancel it, and your car just pops off the ground. The player who made this shot is called Sting. His link is in the description. I think he's a comp hitter or comp player. He's a very good player, and check him out. And this shot's really cool and creative and still gets used today a lot. Number 8 is the MURIE reset. This one, he did it ages ago. MURIE's, in my opinion, one of the best solo freestylers. And this is when you backflip cancel into the ball and get the flip reset. It's probably my favourite flip reset there is, or one of the favourite. It's really creative, not sure how he thought of it, but definitely check his YouTube channel out, and I'd recommend learning this shot as it's really fun to do and just everything about this shot is really cool. And number 8 is the MUSTY flick. I'm sure every single person knows of this mechanic, and a lot of people have slated him for naming it after himself, but he wanted to name it something else, but the community named it after him, so don't send him any hate for it. But this is probably the most used mechanic in freestyling. Most shots I do, and a lot of shots everyone else does, has this mechanic in. This is the best shot for getting double touches on. It's used a lot in comp. This is probably one of the best mechanics there ever has been, because it's just so useful and everything. It looks really clean. So if you haven't learned it already, I definitely recommend learning it, as it's a really cool mechanic. Now for number 7, the MAKTUF reset. I've got a tutorial on this on my channel. This is a fairly new mechanic, so you might not have heard of it, but you probably have. This is used a lot in freestyle, not yet in comp because it's a really hard mechanic. This is one of the hardest mechanics there is, I think. And it's when you get to a slight angle on your car and backflip. I really recommend learning it as it's a fun one to do and it looks very good. It looks very impressive. And that's mainly it for this mechanic. It's just really cool. The player who invented it is extremely good. He's probably one of the best player in the world at the moment. And definitely recommend checking his YouTube channel out in the description. Now for number 6, the classy flick. I'm sure loads of people know of this mechanic. The newer players might not know of it as much, but this is one of my favourite ones as well. I think it's really underdone. I think it will be used in the future more often because it's just another way to get a double touch, maybe get a few backboard resets off, but this one's really hard to get height and power, so not many people use it. But it's still a nice one to learn. People use this in comp. You may see JAKZE doing this mechanic a lot, but it's called a classy flick. People use it as a flick on the floor more than going off the ceiling and doing it because it's more effective. But this is actually quite an effective move when done right. It's the opposite of a MUSTY flick, as you backflip you backflip in a MUSTY, but you turn your car then flip. I would recommend learning it if you haven't learned it already, because it is a cool mechanic as well. Number 5 is the MURIE pop. This is an extremely hard mechanic. He did it ages ago out of nowhere and not many people knew of it, so it's starting to become a bit more popular. But if you haven't heard of it, I've put clips up now, but this mechanic's like really cool. You get the flip reset when doing it, but you don't jump off the floor. You hit the ball and it pops your car up as well. And as I said before, you get the reset too. Boost is a big problem with it, but it's like musty flicks off it, of course, and just hitting it around people because of the unlimited flip. Not many people have done this as it's a really hard mechanic to do. I haven't really tried or know how to do it properly, so I haven't tried doing it. So I might learn to do it soon and make a tutorial or just learn to do it. Because this is a really cool mechanic to like show your friends and make it. It looks really impressive. Like in tournaments it would be really good, and just everywhere this shot's really cool to do. It's probably my favourite one in this list. Now number 4, Astral Pinch. He didn't actually make this mechanic, it was named after him when he did a really nice shot in a tournament match, I think. I don't know if it was RLCS or not, I think it was. But he went to the corner and just did this. It was really impressive in high ranked. Not many people can do this and it takes ages and loads of attempts. So him to do it consistently with a lot of power and no bounce is really impressive. If you haven't seen this shot, I've got a tutorial on it, but definitely check the shot out because it's really good. Number 3, the KUXIR pinch. I'm sure everyone's seen this. He first did it in this RLCS match and it came out of nowhere and everyone was so surprised. I'm not sure if he did it first, but I know that he was the one who popularised it a lot and therefore named after him. I'm sure everyone's seen this. It's not a hard mechanic to do. It's done to this day in comp and freestyle, so it's actually a really popular mechanic even now after years on. There's not much else to say about this as it's still really good in comp and really effective. So if you're doing comp and you haven't learned this, I recommend learning it as it helps a lot. Number 2, the BREEZI flick. I'm sure everyone or most people have heard of this. If you haven't, definitely check it out as it's really cool. This is basically a musty flick, but you do like this special spin before that just makes the musty flick more delayed, unpredictable, and it just looks a lot cooler. It's most used in comp clip hitting because it's just really clean to do, and when done right it's a lot better than a musty flick. It's much harder than a musty flick as well, so not everyone can do it that well, but people who are consistent at it are just really good. BREEZI is a very good player who made this mechanic. As I said, all the links are in the description, but I think he's like a comp hitter or comp player and he's extremely good, so check him out. Now for number 1, before we get into it, make sure to like the video if you haven't already and sub to the channel as it helps me a massive amount. But for number 1 it's the JAKZE pop. JAKZE's my favourite freestyler and he's extremely good. If you haven't seen a video of him, 100% check him out because he does the best shots there are. He's the best freestyler there is. He's probably one of the most creative ones there is. I actually played a match against him in a tournament and he's just unbelievably good. I don't know how you can be that good. But this shot he made up, he's actually got a JAKZE flip reset and a JAKZE pop. The flip reset isn't in this video, but definitely check that out as well. But the pop version of this, I think I actually did it ages ago. I don't know if anyone did it before me. I did it in 2019, but he popularised it a lot and it's actually a really clean mechanic to do in match and it's not useful in comp at all. It's more for freestyle and it's just a really cool mechanic to do in freestyle. It's on screen now and as I said, definitely check his channel out as he's insane. But there's not much else to this video except check all the players out in the description and definitely try all these mechanics out. A lot of them are on my channel, but search on YouTube and they should come up. But this JAKZE pop, if you're a freestyler, definitely learn it as it's a cool mechanic. I've got no clue how many times I said cool in this video, but that's this video, and if you enjoyed, like and sub and tell me more videos to do down below. And I'm hopefully going to be more consistent with YouTube now, because before I was burnt out and doing it too much. And I'm going to play other games as well. When Forza comes out, I'm going to drop videos on that. I'll do more tutorials and try and bring more top 10 videos, because they're the easiest ones I can make. Well, not easiest as in like fastly editing, but they're just much quicker to do. And I know more about freestyle, so it'll be easier to actually find the shots. And I'll see you in the next video, and see you.